What is up everybody and welcome back to another episode of 5 Cool Mods. This is a series where I show you guys some cool mods to come out each and every week. Maybe not the greatest mods of all time, but definitely some cool ones that are worth a download and maybe to play around with for a little while. This is actually going to be a console edition of this series, so every single mod I show is going to be available for both PC as well as Xbox One. In this video are actually a lot of mods that were originally released on PC like a while ago and are only just now being ported over to Xbox One, so a big shout out to those mod authors for putting in the additional effort to get the mods ported over. With that being said, let's just get right into it. So first and foremost, we're checking out a brand new melee weapon mod from Mike Moore. Well, actually only brand new for Xbox users. This has been out since February for people on PC, but it did recently undergo a kind of major overhaul, changing some textures and some other things about the sword. As you can see by this video, it is a massive sword, kind of having a Eastern feel, that assuming kind of like the African or Egyptian style. It reminds me of Lawrence of Arabia in some way. The sword itself is actually a ton of fun to use. I find these massive melee weapons to be the most practical because that range advantage does really benefit you when trying to sneak up on enemies or get close enough to actually land hits on them. There are a few different modifications, so you could have a shock version or a plasma version that's going to have a kind of cool little plasma tip to the sword as well as doing noticeably more damage. Mike Moore has brought us a ton of melee weapon mods, and this is without a doubt one of my favorite ones out of the bunch. It's just a big ass sword that's actually really practical to use if you enjoy using melee weapons, and definitely looks extremely nice. Next up, we do have Prisoner Shackles. So this is actually a bit of an interesting mod. Basically, what this adds in is a bunch of new, I guess they're props, I don't really know what to call them, basically new props that you can place down in the workshop mode. So these range from cages to zoo cages and some poles, tents, etc, etc. Mainly, I'm focusing on the cages because they are the coolest. Then there are a bunch of different mats you could place down after that. These have different little poses, so if I put down the standing mat, someone will just stand there. If I put down the shackle mat, someone will have their hands shackled to the side of the cage. They're actually really cool if you want to kind of decorate your settlements with some prisoners. Basically, you assign a typical settler to one of these mats, and then they're not going to count in your settlement anymore and actually just be a prisoner, who then will do whatever you assign them to corresponding to that mat. It's very cool, especially with the introduction of Nuka World and some of these different raider settlements. It does have a very nice thematic presence that was previously unavailable in the game. There's a few other things, like you could put a shock collar on some of your settlers, as well as you could give them a toy baton, so if they ever get in combat, they'll actually just instantly run away and be really scared unless the appropriate circumstances are there. It's just a really cool mod for those of you who like details in your settlements or just want to be an evil, menacing ruler. So this is one of those mods that came out a while ago for PC and is only now getting a release or port over to Xbox One. Craftable Castle Walls patch is by DD Productions. It's in his whole kind of massive amount of mods coming over to Xbox One that were never priorly available. It does exactly what it sounds like. It patches the walls in Castle, or rather gives you objects to create and place down, patching those walls. You could actually place down this item that basically gives you little markers on both the walls. So then there'll be these red X's, and then you just align those red X's with the red X's in the different pieces, and there you go. You click once and suddenly Castle is patched up. This, coupled with another mod like spring cleaning or something to get rid of all that rubble around, allows you to really clean up Castle and make it a much nicer settlement to just be in. All around a very cool mod, and definitely one I recommend you checking out just simply because of how cool and simple it is to use. Next up, we have Salvage Beacons. So this is actually one of the most practical mods I've seen in a long time. Basically, the way this mod works is in your settlement, you're going to place down this little thing called a communication center. Then you're going to assign an NPC or multiple NPCs to that center, then forget about it. Go run over to the chemistry station and craft a few Salvage Beacons. Now, as you're out exploring, basically, let's say you got a bunch of different junk or just a bunch of resources and you don't want to go run all the way back or fast travel back to your settlement. You want one of your settlers to come pick that up. Well, put it all in a container, place the salvage beacon in the container, and then one of those NPCs that you did assign to that communication center will come and pick those items up out of the container. It is actually very cool, and something I do like about this is it's pretty balanced. It's not like an instantaneous thing. If the things you put in a container are at Red Rocket and the settlers are at Castle, it's going to take quite a few days for them to travel all the way from Castle to Red Rocket and then back to Castle, so in-game time it'll take a few days for you to see those items in your inventory. It's a very cool mod and just one I highly recommend checking out, especially for survival playthroughs. This is going to be a godsend when I add it to my survival playthrough. So last but not least, we have DMJ Remix. So this is actually a pretty big release. This is called Dave's Mom Jeans. It's been on PC for about a month, but this is actually being released for Fallout 4 on Xbox One. It is actually an outfit mod, and on PC, the way many outfit mods work is basically require two things, CBBE and body slide. CBBE is just a body replacer, so it makes your body look a little bit better, as well as it has a few different pulls for the different outfits to use. But then body slide is the more important tool, because that's how you actually decide how you want the outfit to look, basically deciding how busty your character is, and then you create different nifs for the outfits and blah blah blah, it doesn't matter. Those two tools aren't on Xbox One, so thus many outfit mods are not on Xbox One. Well, quite a few weeks ago, one of these body presets did get ported over to Xbox One. I remember putting it in a 5 Cool Mods right around when it came out. Basically, it's just a preset on how your girl body's gonna look, so how big your boobs are, how big your butt are, etc, etc. Well, Dave decided to take advantage of that preset and port over his outfit mod, so now it's not gonna be able to change how big everything is, you're just using that pre-existing one, but it's very cool to see some of these outfit mods start coming over to Xbox One. The outfit itself allows you to change the different colors of the shirt, the pants, etc. It's very detailed and has a lot of different options. You could attach each individual armor piece by itself. You don't have to use the whole grouping if you don't want to, which is a really nice feature to have. And all around, I just hope this mod sets some kind of cool precedent, because right now a lot of outfit mods are only available for PC and not Xbox One. That's going to pretty much wrap it up for this one though, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. Again, we got some pretty good releases for Xbox One. There weren't as many gimmicky mods in this episode. There were a lot more practical ones that I can envision you guys actually using for the long haul. Again, I thank you for watching, and as always, I hope to see you all next time. Later.